Hey guys, it's Lorianne, and today I get to talk to Ryan from Mother Mother. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay too. Always a little bit of technical problems with Zoom. How have you been handling it?
Well, I'm certainly allergic to technology, or technology is allergic to me. And there's been a lot of Zoom calls this pandemic season. So, I probably lost like 2 years from my life, like with Zoom stress.
Well, I feel better now. I'm not alone.
Yeah, the audio's
Like
not
these gray
working.
hairs are Zoom stress.
Totally. I got a few Zoom gray hairs myself.
Well, thank you for joining me. I know that you've had quite the pandemic year. So if you don't mind, can we go back to almost a year ago when it started? The pandemic, that is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You're in Vancouver,
Yeah, correct.
and that's where you've been spending lockdown and quarantine and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you picked up any new hobbies because of the pandemic?
Well, I kind of got to know a passion better in photography.
Oh,
Um, yeah, taking, I finished my photography course just as the pandemic was beginning. And so I had a lot of time just to kind of like cruise around and get to know like an actual camera, which was very new to me. Although I've always loved taking photos on my phone, this year I kind of graduated to using a proper camera, which was very
you
exciting.
stepped it up.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, that's cool. What in particular have you been taking pictures of?
I like taking pictures of flowers and birds and industrial, urban, dark, concrete, train, sky kind of stuff.
That's
Street
cool.
photography I like.
I thought birds right away. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah. I love birds, they mesmerize me.
They're pretty cool. They can
Yeah.
fly.
Why? I
So
mean,
then, so you've been thriving personally, it sounds like. I mean, you took that course and then you just jumped right in and started honing your craft in that way. And then Mother Mother was able to thrive thanks to social media, in particular TikTok. And I know you've probably talked about this a lot, but I just learned of it in the last little while. And I feel like it's really just out, like really out there, because I don't think of Mother Mother and TikTok in the same in the same kind of way. I think of maybe newer bands or maybe not even bands at all when I think about TikTok. But when music comes into it, it's usually for some stupid reason, and I hate to say that, but for some dumb challenge or some silly dance or something like that. And that had nothing to do with why Mother Mother exploded on TikTok. Do you want to fill us in a little bit?
well, yeah, I mean, I didn't know what TikTok was a year ago, and we became enlightened to the fact that our music was doing well across all the platforms, streaming, YouTube, you name it, and we couldn't tell why. But we were able to trace it to TikTok, which was bizarre and very unexpected. And so I was urged to go onto the app and get to know it and start an account and try to connect with these new fans. So I've been doing that extensively over the past 6 months. We started our TikTok account in August, and I at first I thought it was this kind of toxic, frenetic, almost amphetamine-like version of social media. And yeah, there's a dark side to everything, but I've come to really appreciate how free and lawless and anarchistic it is around music. It's like it doesn't matter if music is old or new, or current or hip. It matters if it connects, and quite often if it connects to a younger demographic. And there's a real purity, I think, with how people are relating to music and 10-second sound bites. And if it provides them with an exciting soundtrack to marry with their own life or their own art or their own medium, it's like a cross pollination of so many different artistic mediums and mundanity, which is really interesting. It's a whole new It's a whole new thing. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of how it's changing music. And of course, I'm grateful for the the success that it's provided us. But more than that, I just think culturally, it's doing something good for music.
That's really interesting because I thought maybe at first it would have been like, oh no, no, our stuff cannot be on TikTok. Like you're an indie rock band, you know, and TikTok is like this explosion of just popularity and strange weirdness, to be honest. But then again, Mother is a little bit strange and weird too, or as we like to say, eccentric, right? So
Sure.
maybe they do go hand in hand. But for a moment where you're just like, no, I can't, this can't happen.
No, I mean, I was I was definitely feeling like I didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah,
but I saw an opportunity to work work on behalf of my band, to work within my career, which is part of an industry that's ever changing. And I think that's what you have to do. It's kind of like, okay, there's this thing called TikTok, and there are humans, lots of them in this community that engage with music. Well, that's a good thing. Like just on paper, that's a great thing. That
sure.
people meet here to love music. Well, let's learn about that. Let's see what we can do to harness that. That was my mentality.
That's really mature.
I mean, I just love music. I know what it's like to jive with music, especially as a young person, right? Like that's what excites me most is that these kids are having this experience with music that we can remember. You know, we don't burst open to music as adults the same way as when we are kids. We get too serious along the way. We get too
So
caught up
true.
in our lives. We forget to dance by ourselves in our bedrooms or like scream with a friend with headphones on while sitting on the bed. Like we don't do that anymore as adults. But now with TikTok, you can see into the bedroom. You can see into the hearts of like kids having that first love affair with music. And that's where I focus my energy on, not in the narcissism or the vanity or the toxicity, which absolutely, you're correct, is rife on the app. But there's this other thing going on that if you put your energy there, you feel like you're part of something quite good.
And how cool is that that you say, I mean, most TikTok users are, well, not most, but a lot of them are young. So they're discovering you for the first time. And actually, they're discovering older music, like from 2008, right? That's when Oh My Heart came out. And
Yeah.
those were the three big songs, or three of the songs off that album, right? So they're discovering you in this organic way on this social media app, and you're able to see their reaction. Like that must feel so cool. It's like back in the day, like you said, when we were kids, you know, the bands that came before us weren't able to see our pure reaction unless we were in some sort of concert venue. But you get to see it all the time. You just go to TikTok, search for your name, and get to see these genuine reactions.
Yeah, and then you can react to their reactions, and you can do that using the duet function, which is something I really like to do because it makes you be on the same ground as them. You're not like towering above them as a mythic celebrity creature.
Yeah.
You're just kind of one of them and you're vibing together. And yeah, mystique is probably a thing of the past in terms of music culture and celebrity culture. I don't think kids care about mystique anymore. They just want to see the real you walking down the street. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. Yeah, mystique is romantic and sexy, but I think everyone feeling more equal and like we're all just humans is probably a better thing.
Absolutely. I mean, if we were able to communicate with the musicians and the actors that we love, I mean, that's awesome. That's a great thing as long as you're nice to them.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to be nice. in the age of no mystique, because you get
Right, exactly.
everyone gets burned, for being not nice.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah,
you'll get trolled,
yeah,
and then, the backlash would be brutal. Are
yeah.
you worried about that at all? About just like, so now you're on TikTok, Ryan from Other Mothers on TikTok. You can maybe get some of that negativity that the internet provides oh so often, because you might do something wrong. You might be like the old guy who doesn't know what he's doing or something like that. Older. I don't think you're old.
Oh, um, just be nice, I guess, And for me, that's not necessarily only a social media strategy. That's just kind of like how I want to be in life more and more. It's just nicer and kinder. And so
Yeah,
if there is this incentive from, say, TikTok, then that's just good for me. It just reminds me that kindness wins.
absolutely. Did you not have any plans to write music in 2020?
Nothing, nothing sturdy, no sturdy plans. I think, in fact, we were kind of flirting with the idea that 2020 might be a year that the band just kind of stretches out. We've put a record out like clockwork every 2 years for the past 15 years. So we've never taken a break. We've always been in the grip of a 2-year album cycle, whether that's touring or writing or promoting.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, bam. And so fast forward like 15 years later, it's like, you know what? Whew, that was a ride. Why don't we just not put that pressure on ourselves? But then this happened. It's like, okay, back at it.
Because it was inspiring, or because you just felt that it, well, I guess that's the
It was
question,
the right
because
thing
the
to do.
pandemic inspired it.
Well, it was that, but it was also like there was some survival for sure, to be honest. It was like, okay, like what's going to happen in 2 years when we got no record? Like, we can't tour for the next foreseeable future. So it is smart to create a body of work and a product while the world is shut down, so that when it opens up, we can work. Like, there was that thinking.
Of
Um,
course.
but I would never write an album that wasn't inspired. Like, even if we started from that place and then moved into an uninspired writing experience, then you would have to say, you know what, this isn't happening. So let's just, take the pressure off and let it happen when it happens. Luckily for me and for us, the writing was inspired and it felt real. And so we were able to get it done.
So we're gonna hear the first single that's coming out on Friday,
Yeah,
and I got to hear it already. And it's called it's okay to talk about it, right?
it is absolutely.
Okay, it's called "I Got Love," and I mean, sometimes it takes me a little while to understand what songs might mean or to pick up on every single lyric. But basically, it sounds like a negative song that's ultimately positive. You may not have anything else, but you got love. And maybe love is the most important thing.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful encapsulation. I think, it's probably now a better time than any to know that despite the external world falling apart around us or things being taken away from us, we still possess like an energy, a frequency, a place within ourselves, all by ourselves, that is enough. That is, for lack of a better word, love. Um, and adding pain to pain just makes for more painful. But, adding love to pain does, in my experience, help. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what this song advocates.
Nice. I love that. I liked it as soon as I heard it because of the fact that it's a good reminder. And right now, even though we're a year in, it's we still need to be reminded, like, yes, we might not be able to have the things or do the things or go places or see people, but we do have that still. Hopefully most of us do anyway.
We always, I believe that we always do. And I also believe that it never is less or more. It's always just totally abundant. What changes is our ability to access it. And that's
Yes.
really defined by our thoughts and the mental machinery that we're using. Is That's my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But like I said, sometimes the reminder's good, so that song
Sure.
could
Yeah.
help us remember.
Right.
Is the album? Do you have any details of it? Does it have a name yet? A release date?
I know so much that I cannot tell.
Fair enough, Ryan. Fair enough. Well, I really appreciate you talking to us today. We can't wait to be able to blast the single starting on Friday. And I mean, really, it would be lovely to see you face to face one of these days.
We must. Well, yeah, when we're on the road, we stop through Toronto, we'll come hang out.
Love
Um,
it.
but thank you for this. Thank you for all your support. It means the world to me and the band. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Have a great afternoon. Okay.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right.